Story tonight is, of course, the weather outside. Temperatures started this morning in the 50s, and if you have gone outside recently, you have no doubt felt this huge change.
Oh yeah, with the change in temperature comes a changeover from rain to sleet and snow coming tonight. We have live team coverage all around Western New York this evening, tracking not only the changing conditions, but also the creek flooding in Western New York.
First tonight, let's begin with Storm Team 2's Heather Waldman. She is in the studio tonight at the Weather Maps. Hello there, Heather.
Yeah, hey there, guys. Scott, you said it. If you stepped outside within the last hour or so, and that was your first time since this morning, huge differences. What you're looking at here is the 24-hour temperature change, but really we can shrink that time scale to about an 8-hour temperature change. 30-degree drop in Buffalo, teens from Jamestown, 20s in Wellsville. And when you factor in the wind and the snow that's now falling, it feels even colder than that. So a really dramatic difference. I told you last night, if you were sending the kids to school, make sure they had a coat. Hopefully they had them. The snow now filling in nicely from Buffalo down towards Gowanda. Just about all of Erie County now dealing with snowfall. But you can see temperatures here, upper 20s to low 30s from Dunkirk to Jamestown, still sitting at 30 degrees in Olean, and they are right on that edge of freezing rain, sleet, and some snow. I would anticipate them changing over to snow here pretty quickly. It's been snowing for about the past hour and a half up towards the falls, and now there's some more moderate snow into Orleans County. So visibility is going to be an issue, and the roads are getting slick in a hurry too. I was checking our sidewalks. They're covered, so please be careful through tonight. Future look through the rest of the evening has that snow line shifting southeast. This will be 9:30 p.m. Notice how widespread this area of moderate to possibly even heavy snow is. And notice how it's still here through 2 o'clock Saturday morning. Not really until 9 o'clock that we start to see that snow moving out. We'll be looking at some clearing skies as we go through Saturday afternoon, but that is where we will see the snow come to an end. Here's what to expect. Again, some sleet and freezing rain accumulating for some of us through 7. That snow will pick up through tonight. It'll be at its heaviest between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. And I want to remind you that that snow has a lot of water in it. It will be very wet and very heavy, so be careful when you are shoveling. Scott and Mary Alice, Kevin will be back a little bit later with a look at flooding that has been our ongoing story since yesterday, and he'll have a look at those snow totals as well.
You got it, Heather. Thank you. And like you mentioned, tonight we are potentially looking at a very dangerous mix, wet roads and plunging temperatures outside in the Friday after work commutes.
Lots of local agencies have spent the day getting ready for what could be a slippery ride home. Reporter Steve Brown has that story.
Wet roads in Western New York today were a given. They started wet thanks to warm temperatures, and drenching rains throughout the day kept them wet. And with freezing temperatures closing in, the day was spent getting ready for snow and ice fighting. Plows lined up, road salt being loaded.
We hope and anticipate that, DOT and salt and things like that will work, but really what we need the traveling public to do is only travel if it's necessary, knowing that this kind of weather changes or weather pattern is coming.
In Cheektowaga, Job 1 was a sandbagging operation at the Highway Department. Snowmelt made Cayuga Creek swell, and that had the highway superintendent a bit concerned.
We've been directing most of our attention over by Bellevue Fire Hall District. That's where we've been having the problems. So if the creek does crest over, we will be ready with the sandbags.
During our visit in the early afternoon, plows were loaded and ready. The plan to salt early in advance of the snow that's forecast for later.
We use a liquid brine mixed in with our salt now, so the application is a lot better than what we used to use with just straight salt. But we'll probably use about 10 ton tonight. As soon as the weather drops and the temperature changes, we'll be ready to go.
And what Wenger says is a big headache when it comes to snow removal projects, especially ones that are complicated like today's, is fellow drivers that just won't make room on the roads. He says it's often the case where you just can't get plows to get people to yield the right of way so that they can get out and clear the roads. So in order to pass along a public service message, we're going to paraphrase Jack Nicholson from A Few Good Men. You want them on the road. You need them on the road. Please let them get down the road and clear them and make them safer for everybody. Our guy on the road tonight is Danny Spiewak. He's checking out road conditions out on Grand Island. Danny, what does it look like out there?
Yeah, Steve, I'm going to build on that sentiment because the plows, you need them on the roads, but the people, not necessarily. If you don't need to be driving, then don't drive. And Steve, your story touched on that, and I would say people are really taking that advice. The traffic volume is way down from what we would normally see during a Friday rush hour. So people are staying off the roads. This is what it looked like a little bit earlier as we were driving on the 33, on the 90, on the 290. You know, you're seeing that transition from freezing rain to sleet to snow. That's what we're dealing with right now in Tonawanda at the toll barriers entering Grand Island, getting into the north towns up north into Niagara County. You really are seeing that full snow now. And I would say since we last talked to you about 20 minutes ago, the wind has really picked up here in Tonawanda. So you're getting snow, you're getting wind. That makes it a little bit dicey out on the roads. So obviously something to still consider. You've heard the forecast. A lot of you guys probably stayed off the roads here this afternoon. Might be a good idea unless you really have somewhere to be. Reporting live here in Tonawanda, I'm Danny Spiewak, Channel 2 News.